All right, welcome back, System Wars, for a special edition of Pedal to the Metal. Heil68 here, and we're doing this podcast without our co-host, Eroica. He is being a bum in Jamaica. Jamon!
You could tell on the forums. You see, who goes... I'm going to leave this message in here for him. Who goes to Jamaica and posts on System Wars?
I'm kind of jealous of him, though, because he's where he lives is buried under a foot of snow, much like where I live, and it's shitty temperatures, raining. He's probably in 80-plus weather with beach and crystal clear water. But anyway...
He's not coming back.
But anyway, we're joined with our other host, Pedal to the Metal. Animal, what's going on?
Not much. Busy week. Cactus team is rolling, and that's about it.
Cool. And for tonight's show, I was able to get a guest on short notice, which I appreciate her for coming on for short notice. I got Kairi.
Kairi.
Kairi, I'll get her out. Sorry.
You'll get it. It's all good. How is everything, guys?
Really good.
Delicious.
If you guys don't remember,
That's what I like to hear.
Kairi, she was a member of one of our first podcasts, which was the Sony one, covering E3, I think.
Where I had to teach Final Star about pregnancy.
So anyway, we're going to keep this one relatively short since we don't have any big, huge news, but we thought we'd talk about a few subjects. So I'll Animal kick off the first one. What do you want to talk about first, Animal?
So let's talk about just some new releases this week. Strider came out this week. Strider came out this week. That retails for $14.99 on the PS3, Xbox, Xbox One, and PS4. It's a game we actually played in our Comic-Con video, if you saw that. And it's good. Got an 8.0. I thoroughly enjoy it. Hi, you haven't played it yet, right?
Nope. I just remember seeing it at Comic-Con, though.
Kairi? Did I say it wrong?
No, you said it right.
Oh,
I have
okay.
not played it yet, but I did watch 2 live streams of it last night, so it looks a lot like... I don't know why it reminded me of Bionic Commando Rearmed.
No idea. I never played that game.
Kind of like a side-scrolling.
It's the Metroidvania style.
Yeah.
Kind of. Oh, sorry.
I said that's what I've heard it being compared to, is Metroid, especially.
Yeah, it's really good. I think the setting starts to... I'm about 2-3 hours in. The setting starts to wear on you. A lot of things start to look the same. But it's a fun game, and if you like Shadow Complex and you like Metroid, definitely check this out. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely awesome. Lightning Returns came out a couple weeks ago. What was it, 2 weeks ago? Kairi, you've been playing that. How about you give us a little insight into that?
Yep, I've been playing it, I think, since a few days after release. I feel like it's a really good installment, and there were a lot of improvements to the battle system and the gameplay, and there really is no linear aspect to it at all. However, the time constraints they put in the game make it kind of difficult for you to, get through, because there's so much to explore. There's so many side missions and main missions to complete that if you kind of don't have a guide to go by, it makes it a little bit more difficult. But it's cool because a lot of old characters come back for a return, and yeah, I would say it's a good title if you enjoyed 13 too. This one, I think, definitely has more to add to the story.
So what kind of, for people who don't know, including myself, what type of time constraints do they have on the game? What are you talking about when you say time constraint?
When you start off with the game, they tell you Lightning has basically 13 days to save the world. But once you start exploring outside of this place called the Ark, which is basically I guess an area between, I don't know, heaven and the real world where all the time stops, you can stay in there forever. However, when you go back out into the worlds that you get to explore and complete main missions in, they give you basically a time constraint from 6 a.m. And this is not obviously real world time, but I want to say every minute in the game is 3 seconds in real life. So maybe the time constraints they give you for each day is like 45 minutes. So you basically have 45 minutes to play all these main missions, defeat bosses and stuff, um, and 13 installments. Uh, I don't know how best to put it, but
I
right
think I
now,
understand. That seems like
yeah,
that's pretty hard to.
It's
it's
definitely a
it's a little
game.
bit, yeah. I mean, right
It,
now I'm on the seventh day, and they're telling me I have 3 days left, which almost doesn't make sense to me because in the beginning it said you have 13 days to save the world. So I'm kind of waiting to see how is that gonna come into play.
it's definitely reminiscent. It's definitely a lot stricter than a game like, let's say, Dead Rising, or
Yeah, yes, it
what
is.
have you. But the thing is, I feel like that time mechanic is done kind of wrong. I played about 2 to 3 hours with it, like without a guide. So I was like, I gotta buy the guide and I gotta start over. And I know people say, "Oh, you're gonna buy the guide? What are you doing?" And it's like,
No,
who
it's
cares?
true. There were
You need
times,
it.
yep, there were times when I got to certain points and I'm like, okay, I could have done this so much faster. I just wasted an hour running around. So I basically quit and reload the game just so I could save that time because, yeah, it's a little bit disorganized to
So
be
how would you
honest.
like 100? Would you can you? I wonder if after the game's done, or whatever, if you can go back and play some of
There,
those missions you missed, because otherwise you probably couldn't play them all. That'd be kind of sucked if you.
right? And I know there is a new game plus, and I think you get to play with all the HP you earned and everything like that um available to you and your weapons. But I'm not sure if you have to start all the side quests over again or if you can continue from where you left off. But there is a new game plus.
That Buster Sword. Did you get the
Yeah,
that
Cloud's
Buster
Buster
Sword?
Sword.
Kind of breaks the game in the beginning.
It does though. It is so overpowered. It's like 200 more attack power than any other weapon you start out with. So
Yeah, it has like a 600 damage over the most of the weapons that have like a 200,
yeah,
and you're just like, whatever, right? I feel like the time mechanic could have been worked on. I feel like it's a better installment, in my opinion, than 13.2. I tried 13.2, and all that time and like all that time traveling and like Pokemon esque and paradigm shifting didn't really click with me. Schemata is just a different word for paradigm shifting, but I like it a little bit better because it's a little more on the fly. I
yeah,
wish you had a little more control of lightning on the battlefield, though. I wish it wasn't like she was walking around. I wish you could run around. I wish they would have made it a little more real time.
yeah. And I also wish you didn't run out of stamina because it doesn't exactly help the situation.
No, and that stamina goes really
Really
fast,
fast.
and
Yeah.
so do your AP in your schemata. That goes really, really fast when you're just grinding away at an enemy. I feel like it's harder
Yeah,
to
it
stagger
does.
them.
It is, unless you have one of those attacks that is constantly attacking them and it takes away a little AP from your gauge. Yeah, it's difficult to stagger them.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of have to do these continual small attacks, otherwise.
Yeah, yeah. And what is it? The EP points you use,
To
like stop, like essentially go into overkill and stop time.
yeah, yeah, to stop time and also to heal yourself and remove ailments. Yeah.
Uh,
That goes a little bit fast too, but the good thing about that is when you're fighting enemies, you kind of like after you fight a big boss, let's say, your points refill themselves. So if you're really careful and good with your time, you can really make those days last a little bit longer. And when you use the chronostasis thing, I think it lasts, I want to say like 3 minutes of real world time. So I mean, it kind of helps.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That time stoppage stuff definitely helps.
Yeah.
Um, what's that next week? Thief. Heil, how do you feel about Thief? People are talking about it on the forums. They're saying it's probably gonna suck.
Yeah, I was hoping it would be good because I remember playing the original games on PC. So I think I'm gonna rent it just to try because I really did enjoy the first few games on PC. So I think Eidos is doing it, right?
Yeah, Eidos.
Eidos, sorry.
No, no problem.
I think that they would I don't think do they release shitty games in general? I mean,
Well, I mean, think about it. They did Hitman Absolution. Here, let me give you a small
And
sample.
they do Arkham Asylum.
That was they. I think they
Was that them?
published it. They
Okay.
didn't. They didn't develop it because
they did Tomb Raider for sure.
Yeah.
yes, they did Tomb Raider for sure. Rocksteady developed Batman.
Deus Ex, Human Revolution.
Yeah. Right.
Deus Ex, not
Okay.
Deuce. Yeah. So they published the first Arkham game, but they made like here. Let me give you some games. They made Tomb Raider. They made the Hitman series. They actually also made, I think they made Sleeping Dogs as well.
I think you're right.
That might be. Yeah, it was Square Enix London that developed Sleeping Dogs, not Eidos. But yeah, Eidos is most famous for Hitman and Tomb Raider. And they made Just Cause and Just Cause 2.
Oh, yep, they did.
I think the game will be okay. I think it'll be an 8.0 or a 7, and I think it'll be a fun game. Fun game. What else is coming out next week? So we had Strider, we had Lightning Returns. Kyle, anything coming to mind?
That sounds about just so. I think given those games, and I think I've pretty much enjoyed each one of those.
Titanfall beta happened. Oh, Castlevania 2 and Tales of Symphonia are out next week. Look out for those. Yaiba Z, Ninja Gaiden Z, is coming out next week. At least it says that. And Resident Evil 4 for the PC. If you haven't played one of the 17 copies of it, pick it up.
This weekend, the Final Fantasy 14 beta does that start, or is it just open, or what?
It's the beta is available for. Well, this podcast will be out by the time it's probably open and over. But Final Fantasy 14 is going live this Saturday on PS4. I played it on the PS3. I wasn't too thrilled about it. I like the character creator though.
That's where I spent most of my time.
That was a good character creator. So enjoy that, guys. We hope you have fun with that. It kind of reminded me of 12 a little bit, and it's definitely a game that needs to be played with a mouse and keyboard, in my opinion. Does the PS4 support mouse and keyboard? Does anybody know?
I know it supports keyboard. I don't see why it wouldn't support mouse. I'm not completely sure. I want to say that it does.
That'd be nice.
I'm not completely sure.
Let's get to the big news, Kyle. Irrational Games is closing down. What are your guys' take on that?
So mixed emotions. One is good to see, not someone milking a series, and I've played plenty of Sony and Microsoft games that have gone past 3, and I've 3 games, and I've enjoyed quite a few of them. Currently played Killzone 4, and I'm going to get the next Uncharted game for sure, and I'm going to get the next Mass Effect. So I don't want to be a hypocrite, but it's kind of nice to see someone like Kevin say that he wants to kind of go a different direction, a different game or game type with a smaller studio. So on that aspect is like, he's, I don't know, kindling his creativity maybe.
Is it fair to say, like, the people who were, like, bitching out at him on System Wars, like, calling him an asshole, laying off 100 people? Like,
yeah, but did you hear what he did with those people, though? Either he's having, like, job fairs for them, and...
Yeah, he's allowing them to use the studio for the next couple months.
So he's, he was a developer, or, no, not developer, sorry. He was a lower person, not a project manager, whatever the official title is in video games, but he was on, actually doing it in the trenches, so he... And, probably had a family or taking care of himself at least. So I think he wouldn't just throw him out to the blue. It doesn't sound like he's doing that. So,
and Bethesda has actually picked up a lot, is trying to pick up some of those guys.
But, on the same token if he wants to be happy and make a new game and doesn't need a huge team, it's, he's, depending on how long those people have been there, but, first BioShock game came out in 2007 and then 2013. So 6 years he employed those people, and probably they made a decent living, So I don't know if that's in video game studios years good or bad, but it's not. I don't think he took advantage of them by any means, or treating them unfairly with this move.
Well, apparently, Infinite went through development hell, but is it naive to, like, as a creator, you have the podcast. Like, if your heart wasn't in the podcast anymore, would you sit there and like say, like, do I really want to sit and do this? For them, it's 5 times a week, but if your heart wasn't in it, would you still continue to do it? Like, would you sit there and like subject yourself to that if your heart's into something else?
No, of course not. I don't think anybody would do anything that they're, I guess maybe some people are stuck in their jobs possibly that, and they need it for necessity, but for a side activity for, don't get paid for pedal to the metal, obviously.
Yeah.
But in Kevin's case, he just, he's in the arts almost, Those type of people, sometimes want to try, new things, go a different direction, and mix things up to spark their mind. So he's probably going through the whole new phase, whereas BioShock was all fleshed out pretty much, the universe and the worlds, even though Infinite kind of mixed that up a little bit, but still.
And it's not, like, is it fair to say that should he be responsible for these 100 people for the rest of his life?
No, he shouldn't, so I don't think he was an asshole for choosing directions. You got anything on that,
Kairi?
Kairi?
I don't think he should be responsible. I mean, their studio did a really great job on the games they did make. I mean, BioShock Infinite, wasn't it nominated for Game of the Year?
I'm sure Free Places probably did.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, something like that. I mean, went on, and I really enjoyed Infinite from that one being the only one I actually played.
I still have a little DLC to play too. I bought the season pass for that, so I'm definitely gonna play that.
Okay. Yeah. So, with that being said, I mean, if he didn't really know how to further employ the group of people he did have, I mean, he did make the right decision, and
I like him. I'm gonna be trying to follow his his game. So whatever he decides to do, I don't have anything against him. So
yeah. I mean, I don't want to say that. Like, yeah, it's shitty. Good luck to everyone who got laid off. But you have to move on with time and
do what you think is right.
Exactly, and I'm gonna pull this from the Giant Bombcast, but that I listened to today. But we'll never know what really happened, and I think what Brad Shoemaker was saying was, like, one of 3 things could have happened. Like, he could have just said, "I really don't want to do this anymore. Like, I want to do a smaller studio," and he released a statement saying where he was ready to just shut down Irrational and go start his own endeavor on his own. 2K, I think 2K came in and said, "Listen, if this is what you want to do, work under our roof." And who knows? That there's money involved. There's a bunch of other stuff involved. Like, anything could have happened. A million different things could have happened. And is that something Ken Levine wants to do again? Again, pulling from Brad Shoemaker and the Giant Bombcast, does he want to undertake this titan of a game, developing it for 4 to 5 years, trying with that many people again? And what Heil just said. Heil, why don't you just come out and say that?
Yeah, I mean, besides the financial support, like Animal said, people have access to the studio for a period of time to say their goodbyes and put together portfolios. Other Take-Two studios will be on hand to discuss opportunities, so like a job fair within the company, internal postings. And they'll also be hosting a recruiting day where they'll give other people, outside of their company, different companies, studios and publishers, a chance to hold interviews with departing staff. So to me, I think that's, from what I've read and been following, that seems one of the nicer ones, at least, if not the nicest one I've seen. Some studios are closed short notice. Some you know, usually when a game's laid off, there's always some people that lose their jobs. So I think that's
Yeah.
pretty good. I mean, that sounds like he's taking care of them or as
He's
best he
trying
can.
to,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
trying.
Yeah,
He's not being a
trying to do
dick.
the right thing. And like you said, Heil, it's just like some studios close and people show up and they're just like, that's it. You know, they just say, hey, we're shut down. You know, or they continue to work for the studio for months on end, and they don't get paid.
Yeah.
You know, and they're sitting there saying, oh well, when are we going to get the next paycheck and stuff?
So yeah, so it's I'm gonna be trying to funnel those games. So, how about let's rekindle a little bit? Do you guys follow? I'm sure you guys follow the Humble Bundles, right?
Yes.
So
Yep.
it's this one's going to be good for 29 days, but let's talk about that a little bit because there's some great games in there. And I think I'm about ready to buy it. So I think we've actually even talked about one of them on our either best indie games or best. I think it's best indie games. But anyway, this one has some kick-ass games in it. Has let's see, Guacamole. Is that how you say that?
I think it was Guacamelee.
Guacamole. They have you guys say these. I can't pronounce all these foreign words.
Dust and Elysian Tale. Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams.
It has. I know what other games it has. It has. I'm not even looking at this. It has Antichamber. It has
Yes.
the Swapper. And I'm missing out on one of the last games there.
Monaco.
Yes.
So for to get all of those plus looks like 1, 2, at least 4 soundtracks, but it looks like the rest of them are going to be available. Oh yeah, if you pay more than $4.52, you can get all the soundtracks too. So that's really good. That's probably one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Those Humble Bundles are great. Last year I hosted a charity event for Child's Play, and it's always good, you know. And I like what Humble Bundle does, where you can split between how much you want to give to charity, how much you want to give to the developers, and how much you want to give to Humble Bundle.
Yep.
As a tip. That's really smart move on their part, and that's a great thing all around. You know, you see yourself in today's day and age. I mean, listen, I bought Battlefield 4, and it wasn't broke for me, but it was broke for a lot of people. Like, you know, that's $60 spent. I mean, granted, they don't get all that $60, but it's nice. It's nice to give. It's nice to give to charity.
Yeah.
Now, Kairi, have you played any of those games so far?
I have played Guacamelee, actually, not on PC, but when it came out for PS3, and I actually think it's one of my favorite PSN games. So, you know, getting it for the price of what, $5 with all these other games, that's fantastic.
So why don't you go over that a little bit? Is it hard? I've heard it's kind of difficult later on. Is that?
Yeah, when you start off, it's like a lot of it is really funny. There's a lot of like game references in it. I think there was one for Castle Crashers. There's a few for Mario. I don't know. It's pretty funny, and I kind of like appreciated that. But as you progress, you go through like dungeons and stuff. It does get harder, and when you get to the final boss, I don't know. I hear some people telling me he's impossible, but something happened to me when I was playing the game at one point where he wasn't even moving. So I kind of exploited that. And I was able to, you know, finish him off. But a lot of people say, yeah, I mean, as challenging as it is, it's a really, really fun game. So
That's like a side scroller type, like Strider, right?
Mm-hmm. And the graphics, I don't want to compare them to Strider because you kind of can't. But the coloration and everything looks really nice in the game. It's cool. The environment's different.
Awesome. What about you, Animal? Have you played any of those games?
I have played the Swapper and Guacamelee. Heil, can we cut for a second? Do you hear that static?
I don't hear any static.
Hold on, let me plug in a different pair of headphones.
I hear a little bit of something, I think.
Might be my windows rattling.
It's not Windows, it's static. It's static. Hold on.
Because it's really windy here.
Okay, that stopped. Yeah, I don't hear it for some reason. Now I hear it. Or maybe it wasn't the same exact thing. I don't know.
know. He said you might be able to hear my.
Yeah, it might just be the wind, like you said. I don't know what he's hearing, I guess.
We'll wait.
Okay.
We won't talk too much. We're about rolling on a half hour, so just
Yeah,
wanted to do a little one, keep some content rolling.
Okay, it's gone. Sorry.
that's fine.
Yeah, see, I think it sounds pretty good. So,
Okay.
well, so that's a few things we talked about. Oh, you played the Swapper and what other one?
I played the Swapper and Anti-Chamber. The Swapper is a very good game. Play it if you haven't. And Anti-Chamber is definitely interesting.
I kind of want to try that game. Champ said it's really fun, so
Anti-Chamber?
yeah.
It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I never beat it because I couldn't wrap my head around half the shit. And then, you lose track. And you just lose it. You lose it. You can't hold on.
All right, why don't we go through what we're playing now, and that'd be a nice little half-hour podcast, which we haven't done for months.
Yeah, I know.
It'll give us a week to.
Swapper and Anti-Chamber. The Swapper is a very good game. Play it if you haven't. And Anti-Chamber is definitely interesting.
I kind of want to try that game. Champ said it's really fun, so
Anti-Chamber?
yeah.
It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I never beat it because I couldn't wrap my head around half the shit. And then, you lose track. And you just lose it. You lose it. You can't hold on.
All right, why don't we go through.
So what are we all playing right now? I am actually playing. I played The Last of Us DLC, which is really good. It's polarizing to me, and I think it created some dissonance for me. The DLC could have gone one of two ways. It could have. I honestly, I understand why they didn't do it, but I feel like you guys played The Last of Us, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
For those who haven't played The Last of Us, you might want to tune out for the next minute or so because of spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler alert for those people who say we don't know. So Blabadon, spoiler.
Blabadon, spoiler alert.
Beep, 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 beep.
Okay, so you guys know how Joel gets impaled in the gut in winter?
Yes.
The DLC starts off there. I feel like the DLC would have been better, in my opinion. I feel like it would have been better integrated if it would have started off at that point in the game, or at least if they gave you the option. But it's a whole separate entity from the game. So you start up The Last of Us, and you click Left Behind, and it takes you through this whole about 3-hour narrative about Ellie trying to. Ellie's time. It can't really be spoiled because you know what happens. It's Ellie's time trying to save Joel when he gets impaled by the thing, the rear bar, I guess. And it intercuts to show her friend Riley, who we all know. What happened to them? They both got infected. So the way it intercuts, it tells an interesting story about Riley and Ellie, while being parallel to Joel and Ellie. And, you get to see why Ellie is doing what she's doing because she doesn't want to lose somebody that's important to her again. It's definitely really interesting. And spoilers are now ended. I'm playing... what else am I playing? Oh, I beat Tomb Raider Definitive Edition this week. That was a lot of fun. I know some people have different, opinions about that game. Some people didn't like it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. What about you guys? Do you guys like Tomb Raider?
I am a fan of it, but I have not played the new Tomb Raider, so I can't really speak on it.
Get on Point Insertion's mailing list. We mail games out all the time.
I need to do that then.
Kyle, you played Tomb Raider. What did you think about it?
Oh, that was a great game. I love those type of open world adventure type games. That's probably my favorite genre. So enjoyed it a lot. I actually beat it on PC when it first came out because I couldn't, wait to play it. And then I just got it from GameFly for the Xbox One, so I'm going to play it again and beat it again. Maybe try to go through and get 100% of the collectibles. Because once.
Ooh, sorry, go on.
No, that's all right. Once you open the map and get the, I can't remember what it is, upgrade or whatever, it shows you where everything is. So it's not like you need a guide or anything like that. You just go to the, icon and do it. And I don't believe I did all the tombs either when I played the PC. I might have missed one or two. There was only, I think, was it 7? I'm not sure, but there wasn't very many to a normal Tomb Raider game in the past. But I think I still missed a few of them. So yeah, I'm playing that, and actually started not Watch Dogs, Sleeping Dogs.
Ah,
The free game I got. I played. Again, that's one of the games I'd be on PC. Now I'm playing the console version on the 360 because it was free with gold. And yeah, so that's the games I'm playing right now.
Kairi, what about you?
Right now, let me see. As of last week, I think, before Lightning Returns came out, I was finishing up Killzone Shadowfall, and it was a pretty good game. I want to say I really enjoyed the scenery and, everything about it was really nice. The ending was a little weird, and the credits were kind of funny. I don't know for anybody who's beaten it. I don't know if either of you have, but
Oh yeah.
it's just a little random. You know what I'm saying? Like, um. But yeah, it was a good game overall. I enjoyed it, and it wasn't too long, but it wasn't too short. So, uh, then other than that, I've been playing Lightning Returns, which I discussed, and I just got Remember Me off PS Plus, but I haven't been able to install that yet because I don't have enough room on my PS3. So,
That's a good problem though.
PS Plus?
right, Remember Me just came out Tuesday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes. I loved Remember Me. Remember Me. If you haven't played Remember Me, and you have PS Plus, go download it right.
Okay, so
now.
you do recommend it then? Okay, because I was like iffy.
The story is okay. I like the combat. It could have been a lot better. But overall, I thought it was like, those mid-tier games that we used to get that were like kind of like Psyops or Black or whatever else. It's like one of those games. It's a really solid mid-tier game where you're like, this is fun. It can get a little annoying, but I enjoyed my time with it. And I bought that game at full price, and I really like that. I really liked it. The story is okay. Like, I like the cyberpunk setting of Paris. I wish they would have used it a little bit more. I wish they would have gone deeper into some of the relationships between the characters. And I wish, like, it's hard for a first-time studio, but I wish the memory remixing would have had a little more of an impact. Because there's a clear path in memory remixing that you do where you have to go to a certain outcome. Like, I think that they should have at least put like 2 or 3 outcomes in each memory remix. I mean, there are only like 5, and each one branches off a different way. But it was the studio's first game, and it was definitely a good first try. If you couldn't tell by my enthusiasm.
No, I mean, yeah, because I haven't heard much about it. Didn't really know what to expect from it. So,
if you have also missed out on PS Plus, you got Payday 2 and Metro Last Light.
Yep.
And I downloaded Metro Last Light. I just haven't had a chance to start it yet. So
Payday 2 on the consoles is meh.
You tried some rounds?
Yeah, it's a PC game, Heil. That's where it's meant to be.
Huh.
That's where you, me, and Eric are meant to play it, and you annoy me to know. Hey, what's down this hallway? What else? Am I playing anything else? I'm trying. You know what it is between editing the show. If you haven't checked it out, it's in my signature now. I haven't had a lot of time to game. It's a lot of Dota. Dota 2.
All right, awesome. That's a pretty good show for tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, I think,
Yep.
I think it's really solid. Look out for Thief and Castlevania next week. I'm kind of
Along with Tales of Symphonia.
Tales of Symphonia. Sorry, I'm a little bit older now, so I forget about my Japanese roots in gaming.
That's fine.
Tales of Symphonia. Check out Strider if you like Metroidvania style games. It's pretty good. I wish there was a little more depth to it, but it's fun. It's fun. And does anybody have what's your recommendation for a coming up game?
Like I said, out of those, I'm gonna try Thief out of all those probably.
Kairi?
Well, I'm getting both Tales of Symphonia and Thief thanks to my roommates, so I think I'll try Symphonia first. Kind of excited for it.
And I am I'm looking forward to Castlevania. I'll be say Thief, but Thief I'm looking forward to as well. I'm hoping those are all good games. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening. I'm going to pass it on to the #legendary Pile68.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Kairi for joining us on short notice.
Thank you guys again.
I'll make sure to hit you up on a major or at least a normal podcast where we have some time to think about some topics or something. So yeah, I appreciate you joining up. So
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, not a problem. So if you want to be on the show, hit us up. Otherwise, we'll talk to you later.
Later, System Wars.
Later.